the other thing to consider about the 2022 election is roughly the turnout was nearly 90%, 89.82% to be precise. That means that just over 10% of people who were registered to vote didn't. On top of that, about 5% of the votes that were lodged were informal. Informal means basically you were required to lodge a vote for your preference and number each box, and that's it. Either the person that made the vote did not number each of the boxes, or alternatively, they wrote something on their ballot paper. And I have actually seen that before, and some of them are quite amusing, but that's for another time. So, when we're talking about the vote across the House of Representatives for the 2022 election, just keep in the back of your mind that about 85% of the population registered a valid vote. The other 15% was both informal and they just didn't show up, okay? So of that 85%, let's just focus a little bit on what I call those freedom parties. That's the United Australia Party, the Katter Party, Pauline Hanson's One Nation, and the LDP. Now, if you look at their vote, they roughly received about 1.5 million votes combined. Okay, that represents a significant amount of the votes that were registered for the election. But it's really important to understand where the second preferences went, or their multiple preferences went. And I will get to this in a little bit more detail, so you're going to have to bear with me again. Again, if you haven't had the opportunity to check out Topper's video, I do recommend that because it does talk about the dynamics of how preferential voting works with a really, really smart analogy using marbles. Actually, it was quite clever. So, putting that aside, I just really want you to focus on the fact that there was about 1.5 million people that voted for those 4 freedom parties, and of that, 2/3 preferenced the LNP. 1/3 preferenced the ALP. So those votes broke roughly 2/3, 1/3.